Hello everyone. So this is going to be a little bit different from my standard videos, but I just kind of want to yap about with the future patch update of 11.3 with including the, well, everyone probably already knows it at this point, with the plastic bottle shot replica coming to Splatoon 3 from Raiders as a reskin for T-Tech. But there are some things I would like to potentially talk about with, well, potential balance changes and whatnot. And I just kind of want to write down both a wish list and what I'm kind of expecting to happen for the next balance patch if they do decide to change any weapon for, well, balance patch related reasons. So I'll just kind of get into it. All right, so I guess I'll start with what I want and slash like what I'm hoping to happen versus what I am expecting. So let's get the first one on the way. So the first one I feel like is pretty obvious, and if you know me at all, then I want Zipcaster buffs. But what I want specifically is to reduce the hitbox or the hurt box size. This one's pretty standard. It just makes it so that's easier to avoid bullets and other projectiles headed to your way if you are popping Zipcaster. I feel like this change alone would make it back where it was before the 11.0 update, where basically all the hurtbox and hitbox changes happened all at once, and that like basically killed Zipcaster as a whole. Like before this change, I'd say like the Booyah Bomb kit and Zipcaster kit for Stamper was like pretty evenly, all things considered. But after the hurtbox changes, the sticker Stamper was definitely the better one, or Ember Stamper. You know, I can't help it lately. I've been thinking about a lot of stickers, actually, sticker bombing shit. But yeah, no. That's the number one thing I want to see, and while we're at it, Inkjet can go along with it as well. So, Inkjet, same reasons. They actually, back in Splatoon 2, they actually nerfed Inkjet by making the hurtbox size more. What I would like to see for Inkjet specifically is to revert that nerf back to where it was from Splatoon 2. I don't remember the exact like stats for what it was then, for like how big the hurtbox was. But regardless, I would like to see before that one Splatoon 2 nerf. Actually, you know, let's just search it up. Alright, I just searched it up on the Splatoon wiki. It didn't say an exact size, but regardless, whatever it was from Splatoon 2 before they nerfed it with its increased hurtbox size, I would like it to return to that, and I feel like Inkjet would be in a pretty good spot overall. The other thing that I would love, and I mean love to see, gutting 52 like a fucking like a fish. Like I don't care. Like I was so happy with the spot with 52 was in for the longest time. But then yeah, I mean everything pretty much got nerfed, and then 52 became relevant again because it's the last relevant thing. And then I bet, you know, I'm betting with, then spoilers, I bet they're gonna buff 52 again in some way. They're gonna buff like its ink consumption or something stupid like that, and then in exchange you'll get like another 10 plus points onto its already dogshit special. And even then 52 can paint really well, so I don't really expect anything 52 to get any actual meaningful nerfs or changes that it needs. But it is what it is. Reworking Reef Slider, and I'm gonna combine all these. Okay, so for my next one, it's going to be a combination of three, and they all have one thing in common. Reworking Reef Slider, Splashdown, and Ink Vac. So, what I mean by this is that, like, I want Reef Slider, Splashdown, and Ink Vac to not really be cheese-oriented anymore. Like, I want paint nerfs for all three of these, but make the area of effects where it actually hurts you bigger, except for Reef Slider, but we'll get to that. But I want the paint reduction to be smaller for all three of these. and just kind of go separately on what I would do instead. So outside of like nerfing its paint output, Reef Slider, I would like to reduce its end lag after using Reef Slider instead, since it already kind of got a bigger AoE explosion. Splashdown, I would like a faster startup time so you grow up faster and go down faster. That includes the fists as well. Not sure by how many frames, like 5 to 10 frames would be meaningful around there. And then I want the ink vac to actually not cover as much AoE when using the projectile of it, but I would like to see the velocity of the shot travel faster while being at the same speed. And that's what I would do, slash what I would want personally. And that's all I really want for these three. Another thing that I would like to see is... So what I would like to see next is that V-Stamper to go down from 210p to 180p and Crab Sword to 210p to 190p. Reasons why: one, Zipcaster is in a terrible spot, and I feel like if Stamper is able to farm Zipcaster way more easily, then people will be able to learn the special way more. And also, Zipcaster is so fucking cool. It is the coolest special in the entire franchise. Don't at me. And then, believe it or not, Crab Sword is still at 210p, and I feel like Crab Sword is a very, and I mean very, forgettable weapon. I mean, I feel like no one's really picked this thing. And I feel like the biggest way down to it is honestly Toxic Mist. Like, even before the crab nerfs happened, after Crab Sword came out, like, even then, I feel like it's still really easy to, like, you know, just... I just feel like it's super forgettable, and it's, like, so weighed down because of Mist. Again, I feel like there's so many things that they can do with Mist, and I feel like it's the most wasted potential sub of all time. And speaking of that, literally any Mist change from my Toxic Mist analysis video on what they could do. If you have not watched that already, please go do so after watching this video. It's like 4 minutes long or so, and I think it's a good watch. But basically, what I would like to see is any of those changes that happen. In Splatoon 3 specifically, I would like to see Idea C to happen. Except to make it to a 65% sub instead of the 60, if they were to do that specifically for Splatoon 3. And at the same time, it doesn't really damage you, unless if you're like being damaged by the ink, by the enemy's ink. But that's about it. That's all I really want to see. Alright, so for my expected buffs and nerfs, this is what I'm honestly expecting to happen, and I feel like Nintendo is turning to a blind eye for what it actually needs to happen versus what they're doing. So let's start off. I feel like it's gonna happen because they really hate they're starting to hate certain weapons more and more, just popular weapons. I think they're gonna give us another 220p weapon, and you know what I think that weapon is, because I think Nintendo loves it so much, quote unquote. Stamper, V-Stamper specifically. I think V-Stamper will be the next 220p weapon, because they're like, oh my goodness, look at that weapon. It's so strong still. It counters Blaster, it counters Ink Vac. We must kill it now before it get even stronger, even though it's already its most arguably weakest spot it's ever been. Like, I just feel like Nintendo is going to do something stupid like this and make V-Stamper 220p. The other thing that I feel like that's going to happen is, while they're going to listen to the complaints about the Blaster being too OP, I feel like they're targeting the wrong Blaster. And what I feel like what they're going to do, and this is a dream that I actually had, like the night before they revealed Plastic Bottle Shot coming to Splatoon 3, is they're going to do a 17% reduction AoE on Range Blaster specifically. Why Range Blaster? I don't know, but I'm just going to go off with the next few picks of what my dream said, and we'll just go from there. Shot specifically, I think we'll get a ink consumption buff. So V-Shot, I think that V-Shot is going to get a small ink consumption buff by 4%. I think that's the next thing that's going to happen as well. This is what I'm predicting. I also think that 96 actually will get a bit of a rework, which entails, let's see here. I wrote down earlier today, as of the time of recording this, that it will get better velocity, but keeping same bullet distance. So this range is the same, just better travel speed. But in exchange, it will get more ink hungry. So it'll run out more ink. I don't think 96 is gonna get any points for special changes on the weapon. It's on the back 96 itself. I just think that's going to be only just 96 as a main weapon and not with the kit itself. I do hope we can see 96 Scal getting, or V96 getting like 210p or some shit. I like that the fact that I just like the fact that 96 is a support weapon, or is being used as one. I think it's super cool. What I don't like is how much it spams facts, and I kind of wish we got to see more of the cooler weapon, but hey, what do I know? The other buff that I saw for my dream as well is Kraken getting a speed buff when it's just moving normally. Not when it's like charging in, but it'll just move around faster when it's just like moving around, period. But again, just not when it charges, just moving around in general. Those are the ones I wrote down for my dream. And then other things that I kind of expect to happen is, honestly, 52 getting no changes or only points for special. Oh, points for special changes only. Like, I expect this thing to get, like, literally no changes whatsoever, or points for special changes, and that's it. Or hell, they might even buff it, but I'm not gonna write that down. But yeah, no, this one's kind of self-explanatory. And then finally, I'm gonna throw in one more prediction here. One more prediction. 210p V Blaster. Boom! We just gutted the weapon. V Blaster's back to being a mid-tier weapon, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.